what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Sonic the Hedgehog here, and I'm from the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our brand new Let's Play for our YouTube channel. And that is the forms of Sonic Forces for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch. Similar to how it does it in Sonic Mania, this game first came out in 2017, but about 3 months after Sonic Mania's released. So even then though, that because of this though, these two products released about and during the likes of back in July 2016 due to Sonic's 25th anniversary of Sonic's party. So even then though, that's why they thought that those two products, Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces, was made. So even then though, that yeah, let's get this thing started. So right off the get-go, we can actually select up to a few different options, like the new game, which we're about to get into right now. And it's especially noticeable in this free DLC of this game, Episode Shadow, which I'll get to that when I finish the main game first, because even then though, that unlike in Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Let's Play, that Piglet did manage to accomplish that Let's Play back in a year ago now, because of due to retrospective of 2D Sonic games before jumping into Mania. But even then though, that's well, there's gonna be quite a few features throughout in here. So even then though, we're about to get started. Oh, but first things first though, we'd like to point things out for this point, folks. We are going to be playing through the Nintendo Switch version of the game, probably due to, well, I'll get into more details in a bit later. But for now, we got ourselves two difficulties, normal mode or hard mode. As you can tell, it tells you about the descriptions of which difficulties you want to go for. Normal mode is for the beginners, those of you who haven't played any other Sonic game before. And hard mode for those of you who haven't played the Sonic game before, like I do. So, I'm actually going to be tackling through hard mode, just because I've already played through every single Sonic games at this point in time, especially in the 3D modern ones. Probably due to the fact that we'll get to that as soon as we get into the first stage in the game. But for now on, folks, let's enjoy this Let's Play of Sonic Forces for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch version. So, although I have to admit though, that the visuals don't look exactly as crisp as it does for the other versions, but we'll get this thing started.
Sonic, how I hate him. And all of that loathing has been focused into this invincible instrument of destruction. Every defeat, every humiliation at the Hedgehog's hands will be returned 1,000-fold by my unstoppable creation. This is my dream come true. With this invention, I can expand the Eggman Empire across the globe and conquer the world!
The boss means business this time.
So, much like how it does it in Sonic Colors, and especially noticeable in Sonic Generations, and even Sonic Unleashed, for the 360 and the PlayStation 3 version most likely, and Sonic Lost World is that we instantly jump into the actual first stage after the, well, specifically after the cutscene is done. Well, at least technically in Sonic Colors and Sonic Generations starts off with the actual level itself, instead of, like, the cutscenes after that. So, this is Sonic Forces for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch versions. From what I can tell, we start things off with the first stage in the game, which takes place in Green Hill, but now it calls it Lost Valley, because if you couldn't tell already, much like in Sonic Adventure 2, that some of these playable characters usually have to, like, get their own levels throughout, so even then though, it might be very similar to the likes of Sonic Adventure 2. But even then, we'll get to that during the likes of the actual Let's Play of Sonic Forces. So, I first got the PlayStation 4 version back when it's launched, or technically not launched because I have to wait until a day before. So that's why it takes a little bit of a bummer to actually just try to able to get that particular game throughout. But luckily though, that I managed to got it with me on the PlayStation 4 version. And then if you couldn't tell on the Christmas 2017 unboxing video, that we've now finally got ourselves the Nintendo Switch version, because not just for the sake of Nintendo's platform, but due to its Let's Play of this game. So, anyways, before we get into this little description, here we have ourselves our modern Sonic's gameplay, as you can see. Now he got himself his boost formula back, which ever since in Sonic Generations. And speaking of such, he does have his very familiar moves and tactics, like still homing attacks into robots or enemies, and especially noticeable, he can stomp now. So even then though, pretty worth a while, but even then though, he still has his double jump ever since Sonic Lost World and Sonic Colors. I'll get into more details onto that moveset later. The only ability that doesn't make a return though is the forms of drift, which I felt kind of disappointed actually, but even then, that's all I could really come by for ourselves with that being said.
Is everyone okay?
We are, thanks to you. Cutting it kind of close though, pal.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I roll. Okay, let's finish this, Eggman.
It will be your finish, Sonic. Behold the power of my ultimate masterpiece!
Huh? Shadow, it's you? Zavok! Metal! Chaos! Huh?
Whoa, this guy is faster than Sonic!
Whoa!
No, wait, it's something else. Gotta scan him and figure this out.
What are you? How are you doing? Go!
Nice.
Tails? I need to know what's going on with this guy.
I'm trying, Sonic, but these readings are all messed up. They don't make any sense.
Go! 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 Running out of time here, Tails! Go! Go! Go!
Sonic!
Eggman's army is unstoppable. Without Sonic, the people are losing hope and giving into despair.
Despair is a luxury we don't have.
I still dream that Sonic is with us. Do you think he might be...
I'm an optimist, but I'm also a realist. Sonic is gone, Amy, and Tails has just lost it. If we're going to win, we have to do it without them.
Silver's right. We've been hoping for a miracle these past 6 months, but I'm afraid we have to make our own miracle.
Eggman's army has everyone terrified. If we want the people to rally, we have to show them that strength doesn't just come from numbers.
Not everyone is terrified. Isn't a new recruit joining us today?
Yes, a survivor from the city, right?
I'm accessing the file now.
So now we do have the ability, so that this is actually the first time ever in a mainstream Sonic title that we can now actually create ourselves our own character, which I think is actually really the most highlight of the game actually. Because not only because of how the fact that we're going to be having ourselves a third playable character, or in this case a second playable character in this at the moment, but you can actually create your own character at this point. See, Fernando, that, yeah, it's pretty awesome actually. See, Fernando, that was when, after when the DeviantArt was exist. But even then, despite the fact that the DeviantArt website is so popular back then, but even then, they now make the actual main Sonic game that you can actually create your own character, which is really awesome. I kinda wish that the next Mario game should be like that. Or even especially noticeable where it also does the exact same thing for the likes of, like, let's say, the Mii's of the Wii consoles. Well, excluding the Wii U, 3DS, and Nintendo Switch so far. See, Fernando, that was pretty cool. And same applies to Kingdom Hearts Key Union Cross on the iOS devices, even though despite the fact that I hate that game so much now, but even then that's because of how the fact that I decided to manage to quit on that game at this point. So anywho, I decided to make myself my own self, but with much more taller length, even though it's a little bit too silly for my liking, but I clearly wish that I was trying to create, let's just say, Mario the Hedgehog or something like that, but then after you're done with the old customization, then simply just hit looks great. But if you don't have any good looking, then simply just hit start over, so that's very simple enough.
Knuckles, what's the sit rep, Commander?
Happy to see you're all still alive. Eggman's forces have chewed through our defenses at Green Hill, and the resistance in the city is reporting that whatever it is that finished Sonic Sorry, I'm still not used to saying that. Whatever it is has got them running in fear. All except for this brave kid who survived the battle and made it here in one piece. Meet our newest recruit.
Doesn't look like much.
Neither do you, Charmy, but I still managed to find a use for your pointy butt. Here, kid, take this. We're depending on you. Okay, let's get going, everybody. The world's not gonna save itself.
Right.
So, yeah, that was about it. So, after we get into the actual main world map, or in this case, the hub world of the game, or the menu hub, I should say, now everything else has been entirely doomed due to Team Dr. Eggman is gonna taking over the world. So, we got to stop him somehow. So even then though, what stage are we about to be hit into anyway? Because I'm pretty sure that we can't do anything for modern Sonic, basically, because, well, he's been knocked out by, let's just say 4 rivals, which are, you know, both Shadow, and as you can see, I've managed to get access to Shadow the Hedgehog as a free DLC content, especially noticeable with the Supersonic option, which, spoiler alert, we'll get to that in the extra video. But for now on, we're going to concentrate on the main playthrough at the moment, but for now, we're going to head into Chemical Plant Stage 2, Spaceport. So I wonder how this good was actually checked out to be. But even then, no, we can't do anything at the moment. But for at the moment, we can actually take control of the world map for 2 different methods. For one, you can either use your cursor to able to move around the Earth, or simply just able to use the X button or the triangle button on the PlayStation 4 version to select it from menu by menu. So that's pretty convenient, I have to say that much. So, anywho though, so we only got 2 stages, so yeah, let's get this thing started.
I just received some incredible news. Sonic is alive.
No way. That's excellent.
What? Oh, thank goodness! I knew it! I knew it!
He's captured in the orbiting prison. My spy there says he's in a solitary confinement cell, and they've been torturing him for months.
That's horrible! We have to rescue him!
Plan's already happening, Amy. I've got a squad on the way to the spaceport in the chemical plant to borrow a shuttle. Come on, guys. Who's up for an old-school style jailbreak?
Okay, so let's get started. So even then though, that you can also press the Y button to actually just manage to put up a rental version of the avatar. Kind of like how it does it in the Pokemon Stadium games for the Nintendo 64, where in those games, you can either bring out your own Pokemon into your, specifically the Pokemon Game Boy cartridge games, specifically Generation 1 and 2, but even then though, they can actually able to use your own Pokemon in the actual N64 installments, Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2, to actually duke out of the battles, so even then though, that's kind of interesting. But anyways though, here we have ourselves our avatar, or in this case, custom hero gameplay aspects, a new introduction to the Sonic's main career. He plays almost very similar to how it does it for modern Sonic's gameplay works, except the fact that he actually can see, he managed to use his own weapon now, which even then though, he can still do homing attack ability, just like Sonic can. And also he managed to use his, the weapon, as I mentioned earlier, but usually it calls it Wisp Bones, which are essentially the, a combination of a gun, basically based off from Shadow the Hedgehog, and at the same time, a combination like a Wisp power. So, yeah, Wisps are back ever since, you know, Sonic Lost World and especially Generations for Planet Wisp level, and especially Sonic Colors as a result. I don't know why these guys did make their appearance again though, but even then, I think those are considerably the most popular characters or something. I don't know if that might be true though, but anyway. So what you can do with the actual Wisp Bones is that you can able to use the ZR button or the R2 button triggers if you ever played the PlayStation 4 version, and I really don't know any forms of the Xbox One version, because I haven't really owned the Xbox One version, because I'm just not overly keen on the design of the Xbox One, to be honest, because it feels a little bit too clunky for my liking. Plus it's damn expensive too for the Xbox One X at the moment. I'll take a note from the Sonic and the Secret Rings. Oh god. Oh my gosh, that was an autopilot sequence just hopping onto the train. Use a grappling hook, myself. It's kind of silly to actually call myself, even though I was supposed to be calling it a classic Sonic toll length. Perfect. Nice. So anyway, as you can see, avatars, especially with custom hero character, always seem to attempt to have those autopilot sequence where he's going to be using the grappling hook at the time. So even then though, that's especially noticeable if you come towards the red color variations or the yellow color variations. The yellow color variations is basically just automatic. So even then though, when it gets to red, you have to time your homing attack just right until you're able to actually use the grappling hook to begin with. So anyway, you can either just use the male or female counterparts of the custom hero, which I think is really cool. So that way you can actually create your own variation of the character in the actual game. So even then though, that was when after the Deviant art exists. So even then though, for the Sonic fans alike. So even then though, I'm actually really pleased about this feature. So even then though, when it comes to everything else in Sonic Forces in general, we'll get to the mixed bag of the throughout of the way. But even then though, the only good things I've noticed so far is that, well, the custom hero, or in this case the avatar mode, is actually really clever executed. Especially with how the fact that, well, there's usually you can able to actually now create your own character. But my main problem I have with custom hero though, especially with avatar, it just feels like the controls can be a bit stiff at times, which even then though, that can be very problematic if you're in 3D. I mean, it's not so bad, well, it might be a little bit of a problematic in 2D especially, but even then we'll get to the later stages on this particular situation like this. But for now, we got ourselves a yet another S rank, in this case in stage 2. And so far, we actually did that not that well, not that bad. Naturally, that's what I meant to say. And now we can actually select the avatar menu through the world map while going to either the globe or the catalog task. So anyway, and this is also another one of these DLC stuff. If those of you might have purchased the bonus edition of Sonic Forces, doesn't matter what versions you'll be playing through, you can actually get yourself some costumes for your avatars. So even though, pretty cool stuff, and I think it's actually based off from the Sega series. So anyway, next level we have is stage 3. It takes place in a city, which is Ghost Town. So yeah, it's pretty optimistic, and there's too many robots in sight. So I wonder how Tails is doing without even having modern Sonic with him now.
That should have done it. I couldn't figure it out for you, buddy. I'm sorry I wasn't smart enough. Huh? Whoa, chaos! Sonic, help me! Sonic? You're alive! Wait, what? Oh, you're that Sonic from another dimension, aren't you? Right, that makes sense, I think. Do you know how you got here? Maybe the power that Eggman is using is somehow affecting other dimensions. Which might work to our advantage. I mean, everything happens for a reason, right? We need to save the world, and maybe that's why you're here, to help save the world. Either way, it's still good to see you, Sonic. Heck, it's good to see any Sonic.
Tails, you've already beaten Chaos before, ever since in let's just say for the likes of Sonic Adventure 1, whenever you're trying to defeat Chaos 4, after when Chaos managed to utilize 4 Chaos Emeralds. I mean, why you got scared about that now? But even then, no, I'm pretty sure that you might be a frightening cat at the moment. But anyway, enough about this old jibby jabber. So here's classic Sonic returning from Sonic Forces. So even then, that you know, because of how the fact that both Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces was meant to be for Sonic's 25th anniversary titles, but more specifically Mania, because Mania comes out first. So, how works for classic Sonic then? Because even then, if you're following through the Sonic Mania Let's Play, then you probably noticed at the very ending of the game, in that game, assuming if you actually get yourselves the best ending in the game, if you collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds and beat the likes of the, well, the Phantom King, especially noticeable with Dr. Robotnik at the very end of the final boss, and then somehow classic Sonic managed to get into the actual portal with the Phantom Ruby at the very end. You know that pose from the likes of that back in the first trailer in Sonic Forces? I think that's how the continuity of the well, Sonic Mania story ties into this particular Sonic Forces story. So That makes it pretty optimistic with those little choices for story developing wise. So anyway, so here it is, folks. Here's classic Sonic and Sonic Forces. Now, unlike how it does it in the likes of Sonic Generations, that well, first off, he does have somewhat of a similar moves, minus with the overpowered spin dash. And the new ability that he got himself this time is the forms of, think of like how it does in Sonic Mania. He still has got himself the drop dash ability ever since, well, Sonic Mania. And then while performing as very much like how it does in Mania, is by jumping in the midair and then able to hold down the jump button until you're able to actually just perform it that way. So, pretty self-explanatory and here and done. So, but even then though, I'll get to my main gripe I have with this particular character, but even then though, we'll get to that in a bit shortly afterwards. So, anyway, so that was it for City in the ghost town of any sorts. A couple of months ago, in the city. Does that mean we have a flashback?
There is no reason to resist. I can taste your terror, child. All that anxiety and doubt. It's delicious. Give in to your fear. Flee screaming, and I'll let you live.
Who was that guy anyway? It kind of reminds me of, like, Methless the Dark 2.0? I forget.
Knuckles, can you hear me?
Rouge! It's about time. How's Sonic doing?
He's been better. They're getting ready to banish him into space.
What? You can't be serious!
Eggman's been keeping Sonic alive all this time. He's been waiting to show him his completed empire before banishing him.
Torturing Sonic just to pass the time. Oh, that's low, even for Eggman.
Eggman got wind of our rescue plan and is moving forward with his plan ahead of schedule. The clock is ticking, boss. But we don't even know where he's being held captive. Yes, we do. Eggman rebuilt the Death Egg. That's where he's keeping Sonic.
The Death Egg? Oh man, that's not good.
None of this is good, Vector. That's why it's called war. You all know what to do. Let's go get Sonic.
So, in this series she takes place into, I believe it's going to be takes place in the Death Egg. So, kind of odd to actually add that location at the very beginning, just like in Sonic Generations does. But except in Sonic Generations, classic Sonic usually fights the Death Egg robot. So, yeah, I'm going to end things off here, folks. So tune me next time on Let's Play Sonic Forces for Nintendo Switch, PS4, or PlayStation 4, and Xbox One and PC. It's the fact that we head off to Stage 4, the Death Egg in Prison Hall. So see you guys next time. Later, fellas.